If people don't get serious and get out of their comfort zones, yeah, I think they'll. I mean, I think they're going to demonize him, indict him, indict him, indict him, indict him, and then I think they'll blow his airplane up. I really, at a gut level, believe they're going to kill Trump.
Who's this? Trump?
I believe the deep state establishment will murder him.
Okay, so obviously Alex Jones throws out a lot of conspiracy theories on a daily basis, but I'm actually fascinated by this one because I've been asking for some time why, if the deep state controls everything, and the thing they're most afraid of in the entire world is Donald Trump becoming president again, why they would go to all the trouble of rigging all these elections and making up all these phony charges and going through all this hullabaloo when they could just kill him. And remember, the people that say this deep state stuff think that every mass shooting is a false flag. They clearly are comfortable with the idea that the deep state kills people constantly in pursuit of their political stuff or their political goals. So why won't they kill Trump then? Well, whoever the chucklehead Alex Jones is on with actually asked that as a follow-up question. Here's what he had to say.
I believe he's going to steadfast go through all this. He'll be 30 points ahead in the primaries. Nothing's going to stop him. And then they just, he dies of a heart attack because they poison him or they blow his airplane up. And I think, and Trump, by the way, has talked to Roger and others and said, I'm ready to die, I'm committed, I'm going all the way. So
you think if they, you're saying they're going to do that, they would have already done it? Like, why haven't they already done it?
Because that turns him into a martyr, and they'd rather assassinate the person. They saw what JFK did to him. This will be 50. Look, they are not. The higher ups and some of their smarter ones are not stupid. They're like, if we kill him, it'll cause way bigger problems down the road. Don't do it. But before they let him get in charge and prosecute them, which Trump said he will, he goes, I'm getting in. I'll be destroyed, and you'll be destroyed with me, or they'll be destroyed. It's a death battle.
Okay, so as an attempt to make it make sense, saying that it would make it a martyr is not the worst possible explanation. But he also has used everything else that the deep state has supposedly done against him to make himself a massive victim year after year after year after year. So at some point, wouldn't it be easier to just finish the guy off? And not just him. If Alex Jones is, as he says, the only guy that sees all this stuff that the lizard people clone robots are doing, why is Alex Jones still alive? Why didn't they set it up to make it look like he passed by what he inevitably will, just choking on a pulled pork sandwich or something? Why didn't they just do that? All these people that are so dangerous, this utterly evil deep state really seems comfortable leaving them around for years and years to do damage to their plots. Francesca, why is that?
First of all, I definitely think that in and around Texas, every barbecue should have a deep state pork burger, pork slider. Just because you never know when Alex Jones is gonna come in and order something like that and just call it the deep state thing. Here's what's funny and then scary about the right's imagination, right? Like, what's funny about it is that the deep state is the same deep state, the same FBI, the same, congressional leaders, same intelligence leaders who were too scared to begin an inquiry into the January 6th insurrection and riot in the immediate aftermath because the big, strong, scary deep state was afraid of looking too partisan. That's the deep state we're talking about. The deep state we're talking about is the same deep state that was like, James Comey going in front of the world a month before the election saying they're reopening an investigation into Hillary Clinton because if they didn't, he was afraid he would look too partisan. The deep state has been on the right side for so long now. And the thing that's scary about this and not funny about how weak the actual deep state is, especially when it comes to internal investigations, really good at cooing other places, is that if the right ever got the reins of the deep state, of the FBI, of the CIA, if they hollowed things out, if they hollowed the intelligence community out, which they tried to, but again, the lesson from the Trump years is we didn't hollow out our intelligence agencies enough. They don't want to eliminate them. They don't want to defund the FBI, which is what they're saying they want to do. No, they want to build it back up to be the kind of fearsome, disgusting, authoritarian, Putin-esque deep state that they so generally fear and love to scaremonger about, but doesn't actually exist, right? Like they would want that. They would create that.
I know. If you're gonna spread an idea of a deep state, then just have it make some sense. As people are pointing out, They didn't want to make him a martyr, so they let him appoint 3 Supreme Court justices.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
Who've been ruling for the right now for years and will for years and years and years. That's a pretty dumb deep state. The deep state, which by the way, for some reason wants everyone to be gay. I don't know why, but that's one of the things they say. They want everyone to be gay and trans. Even though the deep state rigged a bunch of elections, including Georgia, by the way, they are still allowing these states to elect Republican state legislatures, which are banning gender affirming care and banning drag and doing all this. Why? I thought the thing that the deep state wanted most of all was to make everyone gay. So why are they allowing all these Republicans to do all this stuff that stops everyone from being turned gay by passing by a drag show or something? None of this makes any sense. Some of this could make sense if you believe that their objective wasn't to turn everyone gay, but was to just have their corporations be unregulated to the best extent possible and make as much money as possible. That makes sense. That's a deep state that kind of makes sense. Weird that they're not focusing on it. It's almost like Alex Jones, kind of an op. That by conjuring up a farcical, clownish deep state, he gets everybody worked into a frenzy to not see the actual entrenched elites and what they're pushing for, which is not gay beers and Target rainbow shirts, but money, more and more money constantly. And maybe it's not a coincidence that Alex Jones and all the other right wingers spreading these conspiracy theories are wildly rich people themselves. It's also not, by the way, did you notice there that he said that they'll blow up the plane or whatever, but that, or he'll have a heart attack?
Yeah, or.
I love that inclusion. Like if his plane blows up, okay, yes, everybody's gonna be super suspicious about that, even though planes do sometimes crash. He has a heart attack. He's an old man who has been overweight for decades. That's not an insult, it's just a fact. And people have heart attacks. He could have a heart attack any moment. It's actually kind of crazy that he hasn't had a heart attack or a stroke. So now he's setting it up where if that happens, they will not accept it. And by the way, they don't need him, because if Trump dies inevitably of probably heart attack, stroke, one of those 2 things is probably most likely at this point. They will not accept it. They will not believe that he is dead for years. They will still pretend that he's around, that he's gonna be coming back. So I just want everyone to be ready for that.
That he's gonna be coming back? Oh, and of course it's a deep state, because ultimately he's gonna have a heart attack because he got vaccinated. So Bill Gates and Hillary Clinton and Pfizer all got together with the CIA, obviously, and made sure that Trump did Operation Warp Speed, which wasn't his fault. Rushed through FDA approval, not his fault, and then he took the vaccine. I love that. I actually think that's brilliant.
Why did the deep state let Trump become president in the first place? That's crazy. It was super close. They could have easily swayed it if they're in the rigging elections game. And one would think it'd be easier to rig an election when a Democrat is president than when Trump has been president for years, but they decided to wait until Trump was in power. RFK Jr. is at 20% against the next, lizard dictator, Joe Biden. Why is RFK Jr. alive? Why is any of this happening the way that it is? If this deep state is, the empire that you say, none of this makes any sense, literally at all.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.